Here on the Denise Newsom Show, we give exposure where exposure is due. My name is Denise Newsom, and I am your host. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, ask questions, put it in the comment section, give us some warm hearts and likes. Today, Victoria's healthy journey will inspire you to take control of your life and teach you how health must be taken more seriously. This woman of God is a loving wife, a mother of two great sons, full time student, working on her bachelor's of science in human and community services with families and children, a child advocate, a multi-entrepreneur, a volunteer, a health coach, and much more. Victoria Culbreath, tell us about yourself and your personal health journey.
Well, good evening. I am so honored to be on the Denise Newsom show. This is so special. Um, wow, that was like a really wonderful introduction. I am just out here trying to live my best life
Amen.
um, during a pandemic, just pivoting and making lemonade out of lemons, uh,
Yes,
yeah, just trying to keep it moving. There are a lot of things that are happening in our world,
yes,
but through my personal journey prior to the pandemic, I knew that I had to get my health together.
right.
Yeah.
Right. What was going on in your life when you first began this journey?
Well, Denise, it was a lot going on. I guess you might want to say, was I happy? You know, um,
Right,
was I sad? But
right,
the bottom line was, I, I was being a wife, I was being a mother, I was, running my businesses, I was taking care of my sons, and volunteering and doing all the things that I was doing. But at the same time, I was not paying attention to what was going on in my life. I was
right.
not paying attention to the red flags that were going on. I was doing this slow weight gain thing. And then what do you do when you gain weight? You just get the next size up. you know,
That's the truth.
My
That's the
husband
truth.
wasn't complaining. Everything was fine. I didn't have any pains, but there were red flags and I was not paying attention to them. So that's what was
Right.
going on.
So, what was some of the signs of the unhealthiness that you noticed?
Well, I just mentioned, it was my
Yes,
weight gain.
the
Now
weight gain.
yeah, it was gradual, and you know that's what was going on, and you have these signs, there's little different little signs, but then you don't pay attention because we get used to, oh, that's just a little ache, oh, that's just a little pain, oh,
Right.
it's just swollen, my leg is just swollen, it'll be okay, I'll just soak it and it'll be okay. And you keep moving.
Keep moving.
We are programmed to continue to move
Yes,
throughout this journey that we live. Sometimes we get too busy and so we don't even pay attention to what's going on in our lives.
that is so true. That is so true. What was the highest weight that you gained, if you don't mind me
No, I
asking?
don't mind at all. And I guess I guess we don't weigh ourselves at home. Um, but I'm 5'3", so I was 200, and I got up to 240 pounds was the highest weight that I
The
got up
highest
to.
weight.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And when did you discover there was a problem?
Well, it was a medical visit. This is a general GYN medical appointment, and my doctor um, and I had a very good relationship. He delivered both of my sons,
Okay.
and when I went in, he noticed. You do the vitals, you get on the scale. He noticed my weight gain. He knew that that was the highest that I have ever been, He
Right.
didn't mention it, but I could see the concern in his eyes,
Okay.
because like I said, we had, he delivered both of my children, and he sent me for blood work. And when the blood work came back, um, he told me that, my sugar levels were high and I would have to follow up with a primary doctor. And when I went to that primary doctor, that doctor diagnosed me with diabetes. He told me if I did not change the way I was eating and change the way, not exercising, and continue the weight gain, he said I would be on medication for the rest of my life. And
Right.
that was a wake up call for me, because I don't know about you, but I don't like to be sick. I don't like
Right.
to be under the care of a doctor. And so I left that place and I joined the gym that same day. I was like, no, this is not going to be me. I'm not going to be shooting needles up,
Right.
wherever, insulin and whatever. So that was a wake up call, and started to get myself together.
Right. Right. So that's the decision that you had to make, was to join the gym and change the way that you eat. What did you learn from all of that?
So I knew, first of all, I knew that it's easy to say that you are going to um, lose weight. I'm gonna change my
Yes.
life. I'm
Yes.
gonna do
Easy.
this. It's easy to say all of that. Listen. I've done it before. I've been there. I've tried every single diet. It's not like I didn't know that I needed to, lose weight, but I tried everything and I failed. So I knew
Right.
that this wasn't going to be easy, but I had a made up mind. And you know, what I knew is that I was going to have to not make any more excuses. I know I'm tired sometimes, but I
Right.
gotta go, and I gotta go exercise. I gotta go and fix proper food. I can't go to the fast food place and pick up something. You know, um, there's some other things that I also learned. Is that you're not supposed to be eating certain things. You're not supposed to have the added sugar. You're not supposed to have all that processed food. The food that they make nowadays, they started back when we were younger, Nisi.
Yes.
They started with these
Yes.
TV dinners and all
Yes.
that stuff. That the whole trend started back then. Back in the day, moms cooked food. We ate
Yes.
some real food, but we have
Yes.
this processed food. We have this artificial food. We have
Yes.
fast foods. That is what was making me unhealthy. That is what was elevating my sugar levels,
Sugar.
you know. And so I had to learn how to eat properly.
Yes. And whether you know it or not, Vicky, you was just preaching.
Oh, okay.
That was a sermon, honey. That was a sermon. So during the process, what types of exercise did you incorporate?
So my favorite thing is to walk.
Yes.
I'm not, when I started off, I'm not like a big, exercise buff or anything. But I do like to walk. I find it very therapeutic. I find it's free. You can just go and walk, go to the park and walk. You don't have to pay a gym membership or anything like that. I did go to the gym because I did need that discipline, to use the different machines and to,
Okay.
to incorporate, the different things. And when I'm 56 now. When I turned 50, there was a
Uh-huh.
bunch of us that went down to the park, local park,
Wow.
and we learned how to swim.
Oh,
I
wow.
had never learned how to swim. A lot of us were in the same age bracket. We had so much fun. We had a really great teacher. It didn't really cost that much money.
Right.
And we learned how to swim. And then I would do yoga.
Okay.
Yoga was introduced to me. It's a good thing to do because it gives you to breathe, it gives you to meditate, it helps you with flexibility.
Okay.
A lot of times people are not into it. They look at it and they're like, I can't do that. You do what you can.
Right.
You do what you can. And if I were going to tell someone to exercise, I would say find out what it is that you're going to continue to do. I
Right.
have someone that I know that went back to roller skating.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
now I'm not going to do that, but she does it and it helps her. So you find out
Okay.
what, what will help you and what you're actually going to commit to.
Right. Right. So, like the swimming and the yoga, did did you find that helpful as far as helping you lose weight, or it just basically just helped you mentally, or
I think, of course, with swimming, you're using muscles.
yes.
Even if you don't know how to swim, if you get in there and you just start, walking and trying to run, there's a resistance in the water, and you don't
Right.
feel it at the time. Sometimes you can have aches and pains, and you go in the water, and the water makes it easier for you to, do exercise. You got a bad back. I had back issues. I was, under the chiropractor. Um, because I was too heavy, you know.
Right.
Uh, that's why, that's inflammation, that's torture, torment to your body. And I was doing all of that to my body. But the swimming is great exercise. The yoga, what that does is for anybody, but people in my age category, it helps with the flexibility because as you get older, if you don't stay on top of things, you'll be able to do less.
Right.
You won't be able to move as fast.
Yes.
And I think that we have it wrong. We can age gracefully. And what happened was I didn't put my mind so much on losing weight. I put my mind on, for once in my life, just trying to eat properly, trying to put better nutrition in my life,
Mhm.
to like, listen, I got children. They're
Right.
grown, but they need me, you know.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so if I'm sick, then they got to take care of me, you
Right.
know. And
Right.
so, I think of it in terms of the journey. It's not a diet. It's not, like you just do this and then you lose the weight and then you stop. This is my journey. This is my life. This is what
Continue.
I have to do to keep everything in order in my body.
Right. Right. So, if you don't mind, just give us like one of your menus that you would have for a day, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So I'm a little weird and strange um, to most people. Sometimes I may not eat breakfast, and breakfast means that you are breaking your fast.
Right.
So sometimes people are used to doing what is typical. You know, um, I don't eat a lot of meat. The best thing for me was to do a plant based situation. If I
Okay.
do, I will eat salmon.
Okay.
So um, it may be a smoothie. It may be, but when I break my fast in the morning, I like to drink water. Sometimes I'll drink water, with lemon, and that
Okay.
helps clean the liver out. You've been sleeping all day, all night. You just need the lemon to just go, or lime to just go and just kind of clean up everything. And I might have a green juice, I might have a smoothie. Um, it depends. I might have fruit, but I don't have too much in the morning. Very,
Okay.
very light. And then
Okay.
if I'm working, I might not even be hungry for lunch. I just make sure that I am drinking, not drinking soda. That was some of the things that were my go to. I try to keep added sugar out of my diet. Um, I just try to, just be very basic, but I try to make sure that I get nutrition in in uh, in my body.
Right. 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 At what point did you see results?
Now it took a while. I know when people say, like in the beginning, when I first started doing everything, you lose all this water weight, and you're like, oh yeah,
Right.
and you can lose weight very fast in the beginning, especially if you're drinking plenty of water, if you're eating fiber, you're eating vegetables, you're going to lose that weight and then you'll go into a plateau. And and so, but what you have to know is that whatever happens, you have to be consistent. The failure with me, in the past is that I was not consistent. I would start, I would get busy, I would get distracted.
Right.
You have to continue. Sometimes you have to call your own self out and say, no, 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 no. I'm gonna stick with this.
Right.
I'm not gonna give
Right.
up. And then you do see the results slowly. And
Slowly.
then, you document that and you take pictures, uh, usually when I do a slide, you will see a before and after picture. You'll see me 240 pounds, and then you'll see me now. Um,
Right.
and then you just continue to motivate yourself,
Right.
and just don't give up. There'll be times when you fall and you fail,
Right.
but you got to get right
Get
back
back up.
up, and you
Right.
have to be. I don't care what happens, you got to be consistent. If you get on that scale and you don't lose any weight, you still got to be consistent.
Right. Right. And that's my problem, because just like you said, this I have the same issue as far as being a diabetic, but I don't do like I should do. And listening to you and everything, and the way, the right way, what to do, and you just don't do it. Like you said, that consistency. And this is really encouraging me. It really is. How did you stay motivated to do
So
it?
so listen, I made up my mind. I
Okay.
said, I'm not going to live my life sick. Um, my family motivates me. You
Okay.
know, I have two wonderful sons,
Yes.
21 and 27. I have a
Yes.
wonderful husband, my
Right.
mother, I have a wonderful mom,
Yes.
and what happens is you don't want these people to have to take care of you. There are times when I may get a little sick, and they get worried, and you get a little, get a little cold, whatever, not seriously. But you know um you just you don't want your family to be having to take care of you, you know
Right.
and you don't want to. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to be under the doctor's care. I
Right.
don't want to have to take a lot of medication. um and this was, when that doctor said that to me, that was a wake up call. I
Wow.
had never had a doctor tell me that anything was ever wrong with me. I had never been sick aside from me getting my tonsils out, which I
Right.
don't understand why they took those out. um but and aside from me having my children, I had never been in the hospital. I had never been sick before. And so with diabetes, it is something that in the Black family, we just kind of just think that we are supposed to have it.
Right.
Oh, well, my mother had it. It runs in my family. It runs in our family when we eat the wrong stuff, and when we
Yes.
don't take care of our bodies, and when we
Yes.
don't exercise, you know and it doesn't have to be that way. Health is a choice. We could choose to eat properly. And what I've learned is, prior to this pandemic and during this pandemic, there are a lot of things that God has wanted us to learn during
Right.
this time. And if we never learned anything during this pandemic, we must take care of ourselves, whether you have taken the vaccine or not. There is no magic bullet. The answer is, and no one is talking about it, is that you have got to take care of yourself. You said you know the way, but sometimes we know the way, but it's what we have trained ourselves to do. We like the way this tastes. We have to have this. We have a craving. I
Mm,
have the
mm, mm.
cravings, you know, but you have to tell yourself, this is what I'm going to do, because you will see improvement if you take
Yes.
a walk. Take a walk. If somebody doesn't want to go with you, just take the walk and go yourself. You don't have to join a gym. I learned that during the pandemic too, because the gym shut down.
Right.
So, so thankfully it shut down where it wasn't so cold. So I would go
Yes.
to the park, but I also connected with somebody on Zoom, and this lady worked me out like I have never been
Wow.
worked out before. But I didn't have any equipment. I had a mat. I had like some weights, that I got from Modell's before they closed up, and we did exercises. She taught me how to do things that I saw improvement in my body over those
Wow.
months, you know.
That is
So it's
great.
just the consistency. You can't walk for a week and say, okay, I did it, and then you expect everything. You have to
Exactly.
continue. And
Yes.
once you continue and you log it down, I made the page Healthy Living with Victoria mostly just to keep myself accountable. And
Right.
so I would make a juice and I would put it on there. And next thing you
Yes.
know, I was making juices for everybody, during
Wow.
that time. So it really is all about, consistency,
Yes.
and it's like you got to get it in your mind that we have to start eating properly. Most of the stuff that we eat, that's what makes us sick. The
Yes.
stuff that we eat, too much oil, too much fried foods, too much dairy, too much processed foods. That's what's making us sick, you
Yes.
know.
Yes. Yes. What is your purpose for sharing your journey with us tonight?
So I see the comments, and I don't know if I was supposed to be responding to the comments all along, but your comments, everybody's comments, are definitely very inspiring and very encouraging. Um, my purpose is just to share my journey. It's in a lot of areas. I am my life is personal,
Right.
um, but I think that God wants me to share this with people. I've been allowed to share this on various platforms. Uh, um, and people have said to me, they've inboxed me, they've said that I've encouraged them, you know. Um, Thank you, Veronica. All your comments have been really good. I've been reading all the comments. I see Miss Moore in the house too. I
Yes.
just want to acknowledge her.
Yes.
Um, it, it is very important that when you find something good, when you have some good news, that you share it with one another.
Right.
And the times that we're living in, everyone is so concerned about getting COVID. But there are other things, there are other sicknesses that exist in the world, and
Yes.
we seem to have forgotten about them. And the diseases that exist in the world are being caused by what we're doing. We have to make a choice to eat properly. Miss Moore says she's been walking alone. You know,
Yes.
sometimes I used to have a group of people that walk, but after the pandemic, people don't really want to do so much.
No. Right.
But
Right.
outside is where I found where I could be free. I didn't have to wear a mask if I went to the park. I didn't have to social distance. There was enough room for us all to be in the park and coexist. And
Yes.
so my purpose in sharing my personal journey is letting you know that I was sick. I was 240 pounds. I was morbidly obese. Morbidly obese means that I was about 100 pounds over
Oh,
what I should be weighing, you know, and who knows what sickness, that I would have incurred,
right.
um, in order for us to fight what is going on in our world, this disease, we have to be healthy.
Yes.
We The comorbidities and the underlying problems is what is making people sick. And so we have to really be intentional about our health. We have to say, oh, I have a son, I have a daughter, I have a husband, I have a wife, I have a cousin, I have a mother, I have this. And I don't want them to have to take care of me. I don't even want them to. Sometimes you don't just die right away. It's a long,
Right.
horrible, suffering death. Who has time to be sick and in pain? I don't like pain. I don't like to be sick. And when I live like this, it makes me feel better. And I can't just do this all by myself. I have
Right.
to share. If it's good, I have to share it with someone else.
Right.
And the thing that I get out of it is when someone tells me that it was inspiring to them. And not
Right.
only that, that they took matters into their hands and they changed things about their life. And
Right.
I've been able to do that, you know.
Right. That's a blessing. That is really a blessing. Vicky, let's see if any of our live audience have any questions. We have time to take at least two questions. So the floor is open for you to ask a question, and you can put it in the comment section if you have a question for Victoria. You could definitely put a question up for Victoria. In the interim, Vicky, I'm going to ask you, can you share some good tips or advice, which you basically just did as well, but if
When
you have
you,
any more tips.
yes, when you wake up in the morning, aside from praying and, you know, maybe having to visit the facilities, get you some water, get some warm water, put some lemon in it and drink it, and make water what you drink in the morning. I know that you know, people like to have coffee. My husband likes to have coffee. I'm like, drink water first,
Right,
because it's what you need. It helps your metabolism. It's like taking a shower inside, you
right.
know. So I see about
A question.
Seymour.
You have a
See,
question.
hello, Vanessa Kelly. CMOS is the big craze right now, and it is good. You need to make sure that you have a real good, clean source. Um, uh, it's good to add to the smoothies, and that's the biggest craze. It's not anything new. It's been, you know, it's a very good source of iodine. Um, I see you, Veronica. Drink that water. Thank you, Miss Grace. Thank you so much. It's really good to see you guys on here. It's like I see people I know. Um, and that definitely makes me feel very, very good.
Good.
But you know, just if you don't, sometimes you got to make water a little fun. So put a little lemon in it. Just make it, Veronica, make it a point when you get up in the morning, you know, and then just put water throughout. I don't know if you're working from home, just have water and just sip it. Don't drink it all at once throughout the day. Just drink it, you know, and then just try to get some kind of exercise. And I know it's getting cold. There have been some days where you could get out there and get a little walk. Park your car far away when you go to the store, and park, you know, just walk a little further. But really be intentional about your health. It really matters. I would say eat like your life depends on it, because it does.
It does. Victoria, our time is running out. I want to thank everyone for watching the Denise Newsome Show. I pray that you were blessed. Victoria, I thank you for appearing on the show with your busy schedule to inspire us by sharing your personal healthy journey with us. Join us next week. We are going to bring you some comedy with Michelle Benson. Michelle started her comedy career at the age of 50. She has performed at venues such as New York Comedy Club, Broadway Comedy Club, and the world famous Caroline Comedy Club, all in New York City. She has traveled and opened up for heavy hitters such as Tiffany Haddish, Coco Brown, and Michael Blackson. Please join us next week. You do not want to miss this show. Have a good night. Stay safe. Good. God bless you. And check out my website, denisenewsome.com. God bless. Thank you.